Back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. And we're back with Lynn Dusa from Sylvan Learning Center. So if you need to get a hold of Lynn or if you need to get a hold of the office, call 209-491-5406. Lynn's got a staff there that could take that phone call. And if you want to know more about Sylvan Learning, go to www.sylvanlearning.com. I don't know why I say the www. I always screw that up anyway. So anyway, Lynn, I know Jeanette had more questions, and we, being so I played baseball, and I remember going to school, then going to practice. We practiced till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time I get home from school, it'd be 6 o'clock at night, and then now I got to squeeze in homework because I got homework from 4 different classes, and it's tough. I just remember those days.
I do like though that a lot of the schools, not only St. Mary's, but also Linden High School where my sons played football, that after school or mandatory going into the library to do their homework because they found some of their star players were flunking out because they're thinking football, and they were losing their top players due to grades. So they said we got to do something about it.
And then with football, you got to memorize a playbook also. On top of that. So.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, schools are realizing that they have to, but what we were talking also about before, the segment, was when do kids get in trouble? I mean, what do you see? Like you were talking about third grade, I mean, the reading scores, and then when do they get in trouble with math? And when do parents, should they have them assessed now? What grades are the important ones to maybe, when do you find yourself being flooded?
Right, so I always tell my parents, you're the parent, follow your gut. If you feel like your child isn't reading where you think they should be reading, come see us, we'll let you know. First and second grade, that's when kids learn to read. Third grade on, that's kids read to learn. So, they start.
Oh, that was a very good saying.
That is a very good saying.
Because we were talking also about that math. Math is not just numbers. Is it like, I think it was like 6th grade, they started with word problems. If Mary has 5, really?
I mean, third grade, there's a little bit of word problems. 4th grade, 5th grade, it gets really, really bad. So if your child's not reading,
they can't comprehend the question.
I always hated the word problems that if a train leaves Chicago at 4 p.m. and a train leaves Philadelphia at 3 p.m.
One's going 70 miles an hour.
Yeah,
5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's like a lot of numbers.
And you lose the child, or what they do is they just look at them, because it's math, so they look at the numbers, but they don't read the words. They think they know the answer to the problem, but they get it wrong because they're not reading the words because they don't want to read.
And then they go on Google and they type in the math problem and they get the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And
that'll catch up with them.
Exactly. So when does it catch up to them? Where do you see, like, is your center full of 3rd graders learning how to read but not the math? And do you have 6th graders? Is like you're packed full of 6th graders? And you find certain, God, this is terrible, but you find certain schools the parents send more kids because they're having trouble.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but
you can't do anything about it.
We're not gonna go there. There's an influx of children that just don't know how to read. I mean, 3rd grade, 4th grade.
School's fault or parents' fault? I mean, parents are not sitting and reading with their kids any longer. They're putting on videos.
They're two working parents, so they don't have time. So there's a lot of that going on too. So don't even go 7 kids. They don't have time, and I worked. Yeah. You have time. Yeah. It takes a half an hour to read a book with your child before bed. Okay. Yeah. That's always encouraged.
Okay.
Always encouraged. Right. Make them love reading from a very, very early age. Yeah, and they'll be fine.
All right. So what do you find? What are the statistics here in Modesto? What is the grade that you find that children need help? And what do they need help? Is it 6th grade for math? Is it high school students with math?
Usually Fifth grade is when they start struggling. If I get a parent of a 6th or 7th grader and I ask them, when did they start struggling? They usually say 5th grade, because 5th grade is, gets into your fractions, your decimals, your big reading problems. The minute you as a parent feel your child is struggling, come see us. We do free consultations.
So first and second
Oh,
grade,
there you
make
go.
sure your
Okay.
child is a good reader.
Yeah.
Then by
Yeah.
5th grade, make sure that they are on target understanding math.
Yep.
So that you don't have the problems that just, just like builds on itself in
It
5th and
does.
6th grade. And
Math
that's,
certainly builds on itself.
and then
If you don't learn that 5th and 6th grade math, 7th, 8th, high school is gonna be difficult.
and that's hard for a
Well-
child when they feel like they can't keep up. I mean,
See,
you just love it when you get that
Yeah.
A on the paper instead of like, oh God, here's another test, I'm just gonna blow it.
And you know what, I had a hard time getting past algebra. In fact, I don't think I passed algebra. If I did, I got a D, and, because it just, you combine the numbers and the letters, like, like, what is B, or something like that, and it's like, well,
I don't know what B is.
I have no clue what B is, yeah, it's like 2, I don't know.
And we have homework support too, so if you have a child that, that has been really, really good in math and they get into algebra and they just don't understand it,
Yeah,
we have homework support where those kids can come in, they can bring their homework, they can work with the tutor on what they're learning in school.
Yeah,
So
I
we
want-
have sorts of programs that we can.
I want to hear some of your success stories, but first, you listen to Small Business Voice with Justin Dunn and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. And we're here with Lynn Dusa, owner of Sylvan Learning Center. And you can reach the office at 209-491-5406 and go to the website, sylvanlearning.com. So I know you've had a lot of success stories. We were kind of talking about that. Jeanette, do you want to talk about success stories before I go on with this? Do you have any more questions? 'Cause
Oh, no, I wanna hear this, because
Okay.
we've already
See-
talked about, parents, what I think parents' responsibilities are, and then at the same time getting your child assessed. This is local, you work with the school, Title I, and, when they're getting into trouble. So, tell us, I wanna know some specifics, we can just go Jane and Tom, or.
yeah, you don't have to say real names, but I've seen some of your charts, like, how you've helped kids improve, but you also had a success story about an adult that was going back to school at an older age. And
The one that went back and got his master's.
yeah,
Yeah, probably a better success story was, we talk about sports and the kids not keeping their grades up.
yeah,
You can play sports when you're in elementary school and you don't have to have the grades, but once you get to high school, they're gonna expect those grades for you to stay on that team.
Yeah.
And we do get a lot of parents, that wait, and then the child gets into high school and then the kids, he's a star basketball player and he's not able to play because now he's in high school and he's not getting grades, so.
yeah,
Just recently, we had a young man come, that exact same situation. And, we tested him and he was behind in a lot of things, but he's now, I think he was a junior. So what we're doing with him, and we're doing it right now, is just focusing on that homework. So we wanna just make sure that he's keeping his grades in school so he can stay on that team. And he's coming in with his homework, working with the tutors, and he loves it,
nice.
He's able to take the stuff that he's working on, apply it in school, and, he's beaming ear to ear like he did on the basketball court.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with my sons, the ticket to do your homework was, your ticket is, you can't play football, So, I mean, that's the whole thing, and to some kids, the extracurricular activities, that's what makes them a star, and then they just struggle in the classrooms.
And even the younger kids, the kids that come in that don't know how to read, it's so exciting to walk through the classroom like myself, I'll walk through the classroom and I've assessed them. I knew how they read when they first came in, and 2-3 months in, I'm walking through the classroom, I turn my head and I'm like, was that you reading that? And they're beaming, they're going and they're getting books, parents, we conference with if you enroll your child at Sylvan, we conference with the parents every month to show you the progress of your child. And in those progress assessments, we hear parents go, oh, they're grabbing books and they're asking me to read books with them, or they're, grabbing a book to show their uncle how well they read. So all those things, you know, it just opens up a whole new world for a young child when they realize the things.
So it starts with the reading, right? That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
it
to
starts
get.
with reading.
All right,
Yeah,
parents
and-
out there, starts with the reading, get them
Yeah.
to read, because I mean, I do believe that the brain, you know, as it grows and learns more, the neurons all connect.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, it has nothing to do with intelligence, because the kids that struggled the most in school were actually those kids of mine that are geniuses.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're right now computer programmers, etc. They are so smart, and they struggled in school with doing busy work, and they weren't challenged. And the ones of my children that maybe had dyslexia or were even on special programs, they stayed up till midnight crying, and they got the A's. They got through. In fact, my oldest, who is a teacher, she struggled with dyslexia and you know, everything else. So maybe that's why the empathy of
Yeah.
you know how hard
No
it is.
child should cry
Yeah.
over.
I know,
Schoolwork.
it was so sad.
Yeah.
So really quick, Lynn, what, you hit on dyslexia. Can you help with that also?
You know what, we do have a program, that we do provide for dyslexic children, so, yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
That is such a
Parents
struggle.
can touch
Oh,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Well, then you might not even know that you have it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about, having the teachers that are credentialed and retired teachers, they're trained to look for stuff. I mean, we're not doctors, so we're not gonna diagnose kids for parents.
Mhm.
You know, for them to do that on their own. But if a teacher, because they have worked so long with kids, if they notice some of those signs, they'll let me know,
Yeah.
and then I can have conversations with
Can you
parents.
test for it?
We don't have to.
Okay, but you got but you do have the conversations.
Yeah.
Lynn, thank you so much for coming in
This
today.
has been
Nice.
great, and thank you for doing such great work. You're doing great
Yeah.
work out there, and parents, don't have your children just crying. I mean, there is a place to
Yeah.
go and
Give us a
give them
call.
the help.
Yeah.
Before they're, you know, you can't dig yourself out of a hole, so.
Yeah.
So call Sylvan Learning Center at 209-491-5406 and go to their website, sylvanlearning.com. Lynn, again, thank you. This is Lynn Dusa.
Thank you guys.
All right, thank you, and appreciate you coming in, and
Yeah, such a nice
And-
name,
and-
too.
and-
Sounds like a movie star.
and thank you for educating us on your
You're
business.
welcome.
All right.
You're very welcome.
So you're
Thank you
listening.
guys.
Okay, so you listen to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Stay with us.